Okay, so the topic of this video is how to use calculator in solving trigonometric equations. So we have sine theta equals 0.8. So just by looking at this sine value, it's not one of our usual sine values, right? Like 1/2 or square root of 2/2 or square root of 3/2. One, nothing like that, right? So this is not our standard value. So we know that in this case, we would have to use our inverse function. So we're gonna say theta is inverse sine of whatever the sine value is, 0.8. So we'll put it into our calculator. So first of all, don't forget to check whether your angle is in radians or degrees. So you need to go to mode and make sure it's set for the appropriate units. Okay, so now we're gonna put inverse sine of 0.8, and this is what we get. 0.927295. So 0.927295. Okay, so that's the inverse sine. Are we done? Unfortunately, not. Not so fast. Remember, when we were talking about our inverse sine function, we said, so this is our sine, right? Sine function. This is our 0.8. If we, so how many values of 0.8 do we have? Well, it's infinitely many, right? We have, it's here and here and here and here. And there's infinitely many, right? Now for our cosine function, we only selected this part of the sine function. So what we found is this value right here. This value is 0.927295. Okay, if we look at the unit circle, remember that's the value from this side of the circle. So again, if we're looking at, so this is 1, -1, 0.8 is somewhere here. So that's the angle that we found, right? But we know that there is another angle on this side, and we're gonna call it theta prime. So this is our theta, and this is our theta prime. Okay, it's gonna get too busy. I don't wanna. Okay, so the first set of solutions is theta equals 0.292729.5, and we're gonna add, 2 pi's on top of that angle. So 2 pi k. And we're gonna specify that k can be anything later, but also, and that's gonna be our second solution, theta prime is this angle. So that's gonna be pi minus theta, right? So it's gonna be pi minus theta, and that's gonna be pi minus 0.927295. And also we can add, plus 2 pi k. We're adding the 2 pi's on top of it, the circles around. So what do we get? We get 2.21429.7 plus 2 pi k. where K, we need to specify what K is every time. Where K is, could be 0, could be 1, could be 2, so forth. All right, so that's how you approach this problem. Now let's take a look at the next one. So this problem says use calculator to solve the equation, giving your answer in radians. Secant theta equals -4. So we cannot take the inverse secant function because we don't have that on our calculator. We have inverse sine, inverse cosine, inverse tangent. That's it. So we have to transform our secant into 1 over cosine. So 1 over cosine is -4. What's cosine? Well, that will give us cosine theta. We're going to flip both sides. We're flipping both sides. So it's -1/4. Okay, so now we're going to do theta equals the inverse cosine of -1/4. All right, let's put it in the calculator. We know we're already in the radians. So inverse cosine is of 0.25. That's 1/4. I got 1.318, so forth. Ooh, sorry guys, it's a -1. It was -1/4. So let me redo this one. It's a -0.25. So it's going to be 1.82347,658. Okay, got it. So 1.82347,7 approximately. And again, we would add 2 pi k's on top of it. Now, the question is, did we get all of the values? Again, if we'll look at our unit circle, the arc cosine or inverse cosine gives you the values in the first half. So from 0 to pi. Our angle, the cosine is -1/4. -1/4 is going to be here. So that's the angle that we found right here. That's our theta. Now in the 2 pi, in the full circle, there will be another value like that right here. And that's basically, this is 2 pi minus theta, that angle. So let's find it. So this is 1 or 2 is 2 pi minus theta minus 1.823477. So that will, and again, we're adding the circles on top of it. So this is going to be 4.4597, and then plus 2 pi k, again, where k is plus or minus 0, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, so forth. All right, so that's how you would approach this problem. So anytime that you're using calculator to calculate your trigonometric values, please keep in mind that the calculator will only give you one value. Even if there are many more, the calculator will only give you one value. So you have to figure out the rest of the values by yourself. All right. So please go ahead and try this problem. Cosine theta equals negative 0.2. Let me know what you get. Pause here if you have to. And this will be the end of this video. And in the next one, we're gonna talk about how to solve trigonometric equations that are quadratic in form. So before you watch that video, please review how to solve quadratic equations. Those skills are gonna be useful.